Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again from some of our resident comedy experts. We've got Cosmos ER and Hakoru over here with another bit of a skit for some new Wuthering Waves content. And, well, with this approach that they're having, they're putting themselves in the shoes of a Hoyoshill, something that they do very frequently. And the topic of what they're putting their shoes in for, well, it's going to be for the Yang Zhuanling, the 5-star version, and Sui Sui, her sister, their gameplay leak from Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves by the Tekken producer. Why don't we go ahead and see, how did the Hoyoshills actually react in this situation? Because this initial message over here, I generally want to quit Genshin, I hate everything about it now. I feel like that's the vibe Genshin has kind of had since we had the leaks for Hiyuki. It hasn't really been a competition ever since. Nobody's really been saying anything. I think the Hoyoshills have kind of given up. I think after the 60 pull incident, the Cyberpunk collab, the Hiyuki leaks, the Cyberpunk reveal, the story, and all of that, bro, they're throwing in the towel. I haven't seen really any of them talking that much shit. But maybe we'll get to see their depression instead.
Why is everyone saying that they're quitting Genshin Impact? Like, I swear to God, it's just content creators, because the actual community, they're not actually quitting. Everybody's saying that they're quitting.
You wanna know how I know people are actually quitting or that it's like actually real? Glaive Kyo is my barometer for how unhappy people are with Genshin Impact. Basically, when people really fucking hate Genshin, Glaive's channel pops off and goes crazy. When people are like lukewarm or don't really hate Genshin that much, his channel is just like, you know, it isn't at the same level. But when Genshin hate is high, bro's popping off like fucking crazy. And naturally, as you can see, there was a certain span of time during 6.6 where, well, they're still pissed now. That's why there hasn't really been as much, like, drama with Hoyoshills. There hasn't been as much drama where it's like, you know, Genshin players shitting on WuWa. Bro, Genshin players have their own issue to deal with, their own civil war. And that's how you can know. Because his shit doesn't get that many views unless Genshin players themselves are watching this and agreeing with him. And also agreeing that the game is currently in a shit state. So yeah, that's why I use him as an official measurement tool.
I gotta ask them. Like, Yang got a crow, like she like going in the air and everything. Like what the fuck did they do to her, bro? Like what kind of powers was she hiding? Dude, Dingron might literally be the first male character I actually pull for. Hey, dude, Ting Zhao with the blue hair. Bro, swam me.
Slight improvement y'all need to make. Those characters just came out and they all got Chinese ass sounding names. So like you should have put a photo of the units on the screen. Cause like I thought you said Ting Zhao and I thought you was talking about some avatar of the last Airbender character. I was like, what the fuck did you just say? Nah, put their picture up there, bro. Bro, the pictures are right here, bro. Just put the picture up there. Bro, you fucking said Ting Zhao. Like, was this Tenzin? Was he fucking, what, was he the second to last Airbender? Is that Aang's son? Who the fuck are you talking about?
Swan Ming and Sin? Bro, they actually put a sentinel into the game.
Bro, the captions are fucking me up. Bro, it sounds like you said NSYNC, not Sin. That's a boy band.
What powers was she hiding? Dude, Dingron might literally be the first male character I actually pull for. Hey, dude, Ting Zhao with the blue hair? Bro, Swan Ming and Sin? Bro, they actually put a sentinel into the game, bro. This shit makes no sense.
Okay. Nah, 100%. Bro, low-key, you didn't even, like, need your guys' faces in there. With how expressive y'all were popping off just talking, bro, you could have just scrolled from, like, just put their full, like, face card up there on the screen. Just had you guys, like, fucking crashing out, gooning over the characters, and then just immediately moved on to the next one. I think you guys could have done that too. Get a little bit of like that dynamic storytelling in there. Cause I want to see the units while you guys are like fucking freaking out over here.
They got a god, bro. Guys, like people not really quitting Genshin Impact. Like that's just content creators, right? Genshin Impact, bro, who gives a fuck about?
Dude, nobody's been talking about the... I will say that. No, this is 100% correct. Nobody been talking about that shit. Bro, I don't even know... Bro, I don't even know what 6.7's leaks are. That's how bad Genshin is right now. Nobody even been talking about 6.7's leaks.
Oh, Genshin Impact. I quit that shit years ago. Wuthering Waves, they just dropped 6 new characters, bro. They made Yang Yang a 5-star. Yeah, dude, you have to check this. You have to check this out.
Yang Yang a bro. They made Billy and Zilla Zone 0 a 5-star. They made Omni in that game a 5-star.
You're not gonna tell me that Yang Yang can.
Nobody cares about Ambi or Billy. Sorry.
Even compare to.
I might be a bit more of like the a contrarian over here. I don't think Yang Yang's kit is like the craziest spectacle ever. I think that if you're like really into Chinese shit, you're really gonna like this one, like WuWa. But I think if you're a bit more Western, I don't think it's as hype as it could be. Yeah, I think this is more of like a gift for Chinamen. Yeah, no, this is for the Chinese. Yeah, this is a fake reaction. Westerners won't react like this. The ult does look... The ult is probably the coolest part of her kit, though. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like she's summoning God. Yeah, can you do that in your game? Can you summon God? Pussy?
That's only one character. There's not gonna be another character that look this. Just this.
And I feel like this kit, the Sui one on the other hand, it's definitely, I feel like, more appealing to people just from like an addition to the game. But it's also not that exciting because she's obviously a support. Right? Like, it would have been cool to see Shorekeeper, right? But like, if you got League Shorekeeper gameplay, you would have been like, oh. That's cool. Oh, it turns yellow? That's sick. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like some kid that's gonna make you go out there and be like, Gundam? Whoa, 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 she's Virgil? No, right? It's like, there's only so much excitement you can have when like, you're like an exotic dancer, right? I think she looks great though. Her animations are so pretty. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Shorekeeper's animations are pretty. You want to know whose animations are undeniably cool? This is like hype-worthy. She's got hype-worthy animations on a support. I think Mornier is arguably more hype than Sui. Bro, she summons like nukes and lasers and orbital cannons and shit. Right? It is kind of like crazy. She's kind of just like, you know, dancing and twirling around and shit, right? So, my personal opinion is, just from like an explosive marketing angle, I think Mornier is better.
I mean, well, it's only 2 characters. They look pretty good, but it's not like they're gonna have even more characters.
Yeah, because this is my personal viewpoint on it. This is probably on the lowest end of the unit reveals I think we've ever had. My personal take. Think about who we've had drip marketed and leaked before. First one ever was Carlotta Rosia. Then I believe it was Yuno and Augusta. Then it was Lene Mornier. Then it was Imeth. Then was Hiyuki Denya. Let's be real here. Out of all of them, who's the worst? Out of all of them, who are the 2 worst drip markets that we've had? Rosia and then probably one of these characters, right? Carlotta was really good. When we saw Carlotta for the first time, guys, we were all like, wow, this is a real... She's got 2 ults. Wow, the Carlotta fucking animations look insane. That's what we were all saying, right? Same thing for the cart ones. We were all dripping for Yuno and Augusta too. Imeth, we going crazy. Lene Mornier, that one was hype as well. And then I think this one over here, unfortunately, right? Maybe because it's more China-oriented and not so much as fantasy. And, like, you know, it does require you to kind of know, like, China culture and stuff a bit more. Or maybe because it's not Sin, right? Because Sin Fox Lady's already taking up a lot of the stuff. Well, let's just be real here. I think that this is actually the least popular one we've had. But it's still popular, so that's saying something, right? That's how high the bar has been set. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
I mean, well, it's only 2 characters. They look pretty good, but it's not like they're gonna have even more characters.
Because this is all the other stuff that they have. They released this the day before the gameplay. And part of me is just saying, well, isn't there a good possibility people are a little bit too hyped about these last 2 units? These last 2 units, right? This is one of the problems with drip marketing. This is one of the big issues with drip marketing. You could do this thing called cannibalize your own sales or cannibalize your own hype. Because when you tell people they're going to have Qing Zhao, right, and Sin coming out, isn't there a chance that some people are just not going to pull Yang Yang? And they're just not going to pull Sui Sui? Or they'll want to like skip them, right? Because they're like, oh, this shit looks way better. That could totally be something that's going on over here. And in a way, isn't it fair to say that Sin and King Zhao, that hype over there, kind of like killed the hype a little bit for the Yang Yang SP and the Sui Sui gameplay? So it's kind of like a double thing over here. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that this is probably going to be the most least consequential kit leak we've ever had. I think that this is probably going to be like closer to the floor in terms of like overall reactions, and it's probably only going to get higher from here. Because guys, what do you think is going to occur when they reveal when they like leak this unit's kit? Because like, you know for certain they're going to be showing off Sin's kit. Jeff Keighley be dropping that shit for the Game Awards. You do realize Jeff Keighley probably going to drop this unit's kit during the Game Awards, right? Or like around that time. Millions.
You know what? I guess I'm a Kurobot now.
It's just that easy, folks. Yeah. Probably one of the best iterations of like the Dami Foxy Mommy that we've had in a really long time. And like, when you know that like Rover like in lore is like, you know, we're the Lord Arbiter and shit like that too. Yeah, I think a lot of people are already like starting to get like some very interesting ideas for where the story's headed. And yeah, I mean, obviously, right, it's gonna hit all the Gooder marks for people, but it's also, at least, you know, like, they tried to be tasteful too, I think.
You know what? I guess I'm a Kurobot now.
I think more of the hype is actually surrounding the characters rather than the gameplay. But one thing is also clear. Kuro couldn't have timed this drip marketing and this reveal for a better time. Do you know why? Because they are capitalizing so hard off of positive PR from the Cyberpunk collaboration, but also the negative PR across the rest of the gacha space. This is the reality over here. WuWa is heading into one of the most exciting times in the game's history, with lore reveals, all of that, while all these other games are literally falling off a cliff. Enfield is actually dead. ZZZ players are crashing out over 3.0, and the fact that they turned Sunbringer into a porn star. I'll leave you a little bit of room to breathe with that one. That's actually why they're mad. And Genshin Impact, as we clearly saw from the amount of people, the quitting, the Glaive Kyo page, and all of that, guys, they're all so pissed at the game because of the Cyberpunk collab and see the difference in quality. And then you see this too. 6 brand new characters that look like some of the best ones we've ever had in the history of the game. But we keep saying that every single time a new round of drip marketing comes out. Well, it's a good time to be a Wuthering Waves player. There's a reason why I keep saying that. I have had so much content. I've been trying to take a break for like a week, but I haven't been able to because something new is coming out literally every 24 hours. But that's what it's like when there's one game in the space that has the entire space's attention. Everybody is constantly watching WuWa's moves because it is embarrassing so many other games in the space by just doing what it always does. And that means people are always going to be hypercritical and hyper aware of what the game is doing wrong. But there's still so little like discourse nowadays about what's bad in this game. People mainly talk about what's good. It's because I think the gacha space is just looking for at least one good thing in the present day. People want to be able to get excited again because Enfield was depressing. Enfield was the game people wanted to get excited about for gacha again. It did the exact opposite. NTE was also the exact opposite. And so where does that bring us? Back to WuWa. And that's just kind of how it is, guys. And Kuro Games, they've been stepping up to the plate. Because think about it this way, guys. How bad would the gacha space be right now if WuWa was also shit? If you gave WuWa the same amount of attention that you give Enfield, that you give NTE, that you give ZZZ, that would be the amount of attention you give WuWa because the game wasn't in a good state. I bet half of y'all wouldn't even be playing gacha right now. I bet half of y'all would have abandoned the fucking genre right now because it's so bad. I think that this is actually not an unrealistic outcome. I think that this is actually legitimate. We're going to see more of it. Maybe not to this level. Probably not to that level. But I'm pretty sure a lot more conversions. A little bit of that whoa, low, low is going to happen in the future. Let me know what you all thought about this one. And of course, awesome job by Cosmos and Hakoro over here with this. And peace out.